Hello, people of the planet. Welcome back to my channel. This is Port Charles Public Radio, brought to you by Aurora Media. I am your host. My name is Abby. Can we talk about Wednesday? Um, I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people on today. I think there were 14 people on today. And I just want to say, everything pretty much happened at the hospital besides, we were at Carly's house for a second. That's true. I'm going to say Carly's kitchen. Corinthos kitchen or whatever. That's where they were for a second. But starting out, Jackie had tried to talk to Jason, and that wasn't going over well. And then Martin came in to persuade her or get her away from him, or I don't know what his attempt was. Martin was just kind of like, you don't have to do this anymore. And she's like, you must be relieved to have your mother back. What? Well, that's why you're stopping the search, right? Because your mother's back? Yeah, you're clearly uncomfortable, so I don't think that's true. That's your conjecture. he didn't go in with a plan. He just kind of was like, which I mean, as a lawyer, you would think he could think on his feet or something, but that seemed to not be the case today. That was quite funny for him. He didn't quite know what to do, and he was like, Valentine, you're here. And Valentine basically said, how about instead of being the person, there's a leak. Notice on I have a plant right here, and it's got some water. That makes I have to go past. Totally forgot what I was talking about. Martin and Valentine. Valentine, I think he said something along the lines of, you don't have to be the search, or you could just help us find her and then tell the story afterwards. So I guess that's how he got her in, that's how he's going to get her off the case, is that she's going to help them find her, and then she gets to write about it afterwards. I mean, some reporters are into that, so she might be into that. Has not grown on me yet, and I don't think she's going to. I don't like her. And I think it's because of this whole gross thing with Finn. And especially now that Finn is being gross and saying he wants to find out if Chase is really his brother or his son. Gross. Why would they even introduce this? Okay, something's wrong with my eye. This storyline is really gross. Would they even introduce it if they weren't going to make Chase his son? Obviously not. So that's going to happen, because why talk us into this storyline? It's disgusting. I hate it. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. And Temp Jordan today was pretty damn good, I have to say. I like Temp Jordan with Cyrus. She's just telling it like it is. In my opinion, she keeps telling him, look, Vermont's not my jurisdiction. I can't do anything. Well, so, Jason's in your jurisdiction. Right. But unless you have proof that he has kidnapped this person, can't do anything for you. And she's right. So, I'm just waiting to see if, Cyrus is going to snap on somebody, because I think he's going to take out Portia. That's who I think he's going to flip out on, because he can't he's getting backed into a corner and no one's helping him, and he doesn't like her, and she is super mouthy with him. She is. Today he was like, apologies, I don't mean to interrupt. And she's like, well, if you're gonna apologize for it, then maybe don't do it. It's like, damn, girl, she has no problem with that mouth. And he's gonna get her. Like, I think he's mentioned it before, something along the lines of like, yeah, I'd be happy to kill you, or maybe I'll just do that, or something. He says something like that. Oh no. I'm having some plant problems, y'all. Ugh. I'm gonna have to move my plant. Having some plant problems. Yeah. There's a plant here, there's a plant there. There's a bunch of plants over there, but you can't see them. Sorry. I know I lost train of thought there. I think he's going to go for Portia. That is my prediction. That's who he's going after next. Today, running into them in the hallway, her and Trina, which, by the way, when they sat down and did their whole coffee opposite each other thing, that was weird. That was weird to watch. It was a weird interaction to watch. Seeing it happen wasn't weird because they're like, oh, let's sit down, and they both put their coffee cups down. But like my eyes just immediately went to like how they did that, and then just like thought, weird staging. I don't like seeing weird staging because it like takes away my focus. But they should have just next to them. Why they did it across? And it looked like one of them was just like taking the other person's lead, and it just went a tad too slow for me to notice it. I just want to throw that out there. It was hilarious to see the little cup interaction was weird. But like I was into it because like they did what they could. I know most of the time this is like one take. So that's what I think happened. Someone did something there. Trina did or something. So one of them just took the it was hilarious. Took the cue to do it. They sat down and she's talking about wanting to go visit her dad even though she's mad at him. Yo, I get that. I never had to go visit my father in jail, but I had to go to court appointed visitation, and it wasn't that like I made it weird. It was him that made it weird because he was the one who pointed out that like only criminals come here. And like I have to see you with an officer on guard, like I'm some kind of criminal. I think is how I like heard the expression was like, oh, this is where bad people go. And then like, I remember hearing later someone telling me that like that was, the reason behind what the reasoning behind seeing him that way was. But I can relate to like that weird feeling of like I'm gonna be really, or at least I thought he was a good guy, and I gotta see him this way, Ugh. So I get that, I do. She should just go see him anyway. Go yell at him. Who gives a fuck? So Cyrus broke up their little party and came through with his whole like, well, I tried to talk to Jordan and it didn't work. And Trina comes in, what you mean it didn't work? And Portia's like, honey, go home, okay? Go home. Go home. Of course she ain't gonna go home. She's gonna go to that police station. That or Portia's gonna go to the police station. One of them, and he just did that to start drama, to get one of them, both of them, to run over to that police station and say, Jordan, this is what Cyrus just said to me. And she's like, I know. And that's because he needs to put the pressure. He's trying to put the pressure on. And that's what I'm here to do. Like, that's what we're going to see. It's going to be some sort of Muppet thing. It's a Muppet thing, really. Blah, 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 blah. That's what I think. He's going to he's puppeteering you people to go do something. I'm sorry. This is why he shouldn't sit here. So Cyrus decided after that, the next best thing to do was yell at Brando, because that's who he hasn't threatened recently, or that's who's next in the cycle or in the line of people to take down after, making Jordan and Portia and all of them feel bad. Next is Brando. And Brando was already like, yo, Jason, if I don't give him something, I don't know how he's going to react. I honestly don't know. He's freaking the fuck out. And then he freaks the fuck out on Brando. He doesn't freak the fuck out, but he's like, yo, I can't. Can you do it? There. He's like, I can't be disappointed. You haven't seen me disappointed yet. I don't think you want to. And Brandon looked scared, just like Jordan did, because he said, that's fine that she's like this isn't in your jurisdiction, but if one hair on my mother or something, if she's hurt in any way, is damaged, blah blah blah, no one you love will be left standing or will survive, will live or something. It was horrible. Like, ugh, you bitch, why? What a terrible thing to say to somebody. So definitely Jordan and Brando both have the fear in them. I don't know what he took Dev. Like, that kid just got like bombed and done with. He got him. I mean, the lingering existence of Dev is still like being held over them, but it's fucked up in my opinion. That this is how we're remembering it, and how this is how he's controlling Brando. Because what else is there left to do to Brando but like throw this kid's like dead body over him? Not throw his dead body, but like the lingering immigration issue. Like, and it's not just a lingering immigration issue to Brando. He liked this kid, and he's like still mourning. Like, he lost a kid, whatever. Closest thing to a kid he'll probably ever get. Because he's not into kids. He's an old man. Side note, I was watching it. I don't know if any of you have seen it yet, but Brando was in a Gardasil commercial. And I was watching it, and I was like, damn. This man's really going to be a rep for, like, a papillomavirus, like, drug. Okay. All right. The Gardasil 9, whatever, go Brando. He's like running a mile. I was like, sure, whatever. As they're reading the symptoms, I'm like, you know what? It's like Joey with the gonorrhea ad. Like, who am I to judge? And at the end of the ad, he finishes his little marathon or his run or whatever, and whatever is wrong with my eye, it's gone now because I can feel it flushing. There had to have been something clogged. Oh, I can feel it. I might start tearing up. I can feel tears already. At the end of the commercial, this woman who's wearing a headpiece or like a scarf to presumably cover up the lack of hair because of her cancer, she comes up and hugs him. Maybe she's his partner, and he's running the marathon for her, or in her place, as a gesture for her, whatever. She hugs him in support. Maybe he's doing it for him. It's still cute. And I was like, oh, what a cute commercial. I was into it. So Brando and Jordan, scared shitless. She calls Laura after Laura goes, oh my God. I did not write Laura's name down. Who was she talking to today when she started out? Damn. I don't know. Oh, my eyes fucked up. Sorry, I know that I'm like sidetracking a lot. If you're looking to watch somebody who is like super focused, good luck. Thinking that it's me. Sure. You could try. He like, Jordan calls Laura after Cyrus put the heat on her yesterday with the picture that made her go talk to Carly. That's what it is. She started. Okay, so there were 16 people onto the episode today, not 14. But we did start the episode in Carly's kitchen, and Laura was talking to her for a little bit, and she's like, "I hope this is the truth, and I want you to listen to it or whatever. You have to tell me where Jason's keeping Florence Gray." Hmm. No, no, I don't know how to do that. And Carly was really good at playing off the fact that like she knows that I mean, people are suspecting that this is not Jason's MO. So people are suspecting that Carly did it because why would Jason do it? Because I don't think Jason had any other leverage but that one. That like there's nothing else to do, or he would have done it by now. So uh Jordan calls Laura. Laura goes and talks to her, and they immediately think about the fucking hospital. And I can't believe. I remember when Sunny did it. Sunny and Jason had this conversation, and it was so much slower. It was in the office. It was in Sunny's office, and I remember watching it and being like, "What the fuck? How did these two come up with this? That was so slow. How they just did that." It was something like, Jason's like, "So what does he have now that he hasn't had before, like ever?" The hospital. Okay, so what could he be using the hospital for? To make drugs. Yeah, I think he's making drugs in the lab. Yeah, that makes sense. Like that was the conversation with him and Sunny, and I was like, how did he do that? How did Sunny go? The hospital. I remember thinking, like, man, he pulled that out of his ass. But like now I watched it reframe in these women's minds, and they're like, the heat is on them, and they're thinking like, okay, we gotta what is it that he has here in Port Charles that he's never had anywhere else? And Jordan's like, the hospital, right? The hospital. That is weird for him that he's here with the hospital. Okay, and that is how they figured it out. Who they haven't figured out it the correct way, because they think that like Brando and Britt are being groomed as like lieutenants, and that's not the case. They're both being blackmailed to even be a part of the whole fucking thing. So don't be tripping about that. Thinking that Britt is some hot shot. She not. She's a dumbass. Like she didn't even know that's why she got hired. Was so this guy could have some things ran through her lab, or like had some things cooked in her lab, I should say. How she's still letting that happen is beyond me. I don't know how they're still letting that happen, or at least she's still letting it happen, Britt. It's pretty gross. I apologize for the squeaking back there. Also, I should probably oil that. Yeah. Where was I? Cyrus, yeah. Jackie, yeah. Jason, okay. We talked about Carly. We talked about Laura. Let's talk. I didn't write down Peter's name. There were 17 people on it today, not 14. I'm gonna write Peter, aka Heinrich, because man, he was doing some Heinrich shit today. Listening in on their conversation, getting pissed off about anything that Maxie was saying or what Dante was saying. He just couldn't, I think, deal with it. That's why he cleared his throat. And I mean, and jumped in because, listening to Maxie constantly defend him has to be tiring at this point too, because clearly she's going in circles over this. And I don't know, it's getting pretty fucking tiring. Yeah, for everybody. But Dante's like, yo, do you realize that every conversation you and I have had since I've been back always ends up with you defending Peter? Yeah. And she said something like, yeah, am I gonna have to do that forever? He's like, I don't know. Are you? And he had this like heart to heart with her today. I feel like somebody's had to have said this to her before, but it's been a minute since somebody was brutally blunt about it with her, and said, how did it feel for you, finding out that he was his half brother? Okay, well, that's why I have an issue with him because he's his brother and I don't want to let him in because he is not him. And like him and I want this around me, but like you could be having the exact opposite reaction. You and I are coming at it completely different perspectives. That's what I think. What I think you think is that you see Nathan in Peter, and because you miss Nathan, you are keeping Peter. That was rough. And she was like, I don't love him because he's Nathan's brother. I don't know, girl. She said something like, I love him for who he is and how he's like, not like always been there for me, and he's given me time and space and comfort. He's been nothing but, girl, he has been like a predator to you since he came to town. He's been like, I think he's been acting like a predator towards her. He got her knocked up. Gross. How did he? Cool. And, she's having his kid. That's not cool. They having another kid? Ugh. It's just whatever. Whatever. Weird. Why is she having a baby? That's like the same age as Carly's kid. It's just weird. And I'm not into it. I don't understand why they're having more kids on this show. Like, there's too many kids that don't exist as it is. Where the fuck is Christina? Anyway, that conversation today with Maxie and Dante, I thought was necessary because she went straight over to Nathan's grave after that. Yes, she did. Yes, sir. And was like, maybe Dante's right. Maybe that is how I'm feeling. She thought that those flowers sitting there had to have been Nina. Nina must have stopped by earlier. Oh, we also went to the graveyard. Forgot to write that down. Damn. Y'all don't know what I did today. Oh, I ate. That's what I did when I was watching this. I ate. No shame. But Valentine left coins. And I thought that was very nice of him to leave the change for the dead. I don't know off the top of my brain like that full superstition story. So I'm gonna look it up later because that is a fun little ritual, I think, or a superstition that only so many people do still. So it was good to see, or it was nice to see. It was rare to see something like that out of Valentine. Something unworldly or spiritual, godly, some sort of like ritualistic opportunity for Valentine to take to appease the gods or the souls out there. He spoke to Nathan today. Because Valentine knew Jay. And that's who I think of. When I think of Nathan, I think, and like what he meant to Valentine, that was Nina's brother, Jay. And this new Nina doesn't call him that. I'm over here like crossing my feet. She doesn't call him that. She talks about Nathan, but every once in a while I think I've heard her say, I used to call him Jay. Yeah, when you were a different actress, but that was cute. I'm glad that Valentine did that, in my opinion. I thought it was to remind me that he does care about everybody, not just Nina. There are other people he cares about. He said to Nathan, I'm still watching over your family. He's watching Maxie. He's watching Peter. What's weird is that Valentine raised Peter. So do I think he'll ever give Peter up? Probably not. He'd probably get him out of town and not tell anybody he did it. Not even Anna. That's what I think of Valentine, because he will always be there for that fucking kid, no matter what that kid does wrong. And man, I think Peter's gonna do some wrong. Like, I think the way he's gonna like leave town because he's gonna get busted. He's gonna disappear. Man, if he doesn't go out kidnapping his kid with him, which that's probably what they're waiting to do. They're waiting for his kid to get born so he can carry her ass out on a boat. And then it'll be like, oh my God, he kidnapped his kid. And they're going to be looking for Louise, whatever her name is going to be. Louise. Okay. Yeah, what an interesting episode today with those guys. And he fired Dante. I was like, okay, that's weird to just come in and be like, yo, we're all too close. I have to fire you. Like, okay, weird. I thought it was really weird. Like, I'm pretty sure you already thought about this before you hired him. Why? Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't think Dante will be buying it either. At least in my opinion. Also, he needs some time to heal because he just got injected with some shit. How is he supposed to complete the mission at this point? I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if Dante's going to complete the mission. He got injected with some stuffs. So, yeah. What else is there to talk about? Last but not least, Monica held an AA meeting. I did not know she hosted the meetings, but boy, is that smart. We might have seen her do that before, but they bronzed that because, I love some Monica and they never use her. She's always like gone or sick or, in a damn sprained ankle from the dog or something. Whatever she did last time, broke her foot playing with the dog. I don't know. Glad she was there. I just want to wrap this up by saying, like, man, Curtis had a different tone today when he was talking to people and talking in that AA meeting. I could feel the real off of him talking his feelings. It's interesting how they go into those. Every time I see them on that show, when they go into AA meetings, they are talking about their feelings. Like, they're sharing that. Some people are I guess, share like what they're going on in their lives and if they're drunk or not, but there's not a lot of surface talk. It's more about retrospect and perspective and just straight up feelings. And that was because that's the conversation, right? This is how this shit makes me feel. This is what alcoholism does to me. This is how I feel about it today. This is how I'm working through it today. This is how I'm struggling with it today. And that was Curtis's case. Was he's struggling with it because there's a lot going on in his life, and it's easy to want to go back to that when you're struggling in life. But he can't because he's worked too hard to become this person to go back to that. He can't go back to that. So despite, whatever the word is, of what's going on right now, so Alexis got herself some coffee, a little liquid courage. I can't remember if she drank it or not, but she started talking about her feelings and how this disease makes her want to like live in it forever. And she doesn't know what to do at this point. So she asked for help. She was like, because I don't know if I want to stop. I don't think I have anything else to care about. I need help. Help me stop drinking. And it was hard, I think, for her to take that 1 day button, right? 1 day sober. Because, the only reason she's that 1 day sober is because she was in the drunk tank. And this is where she came straight after, I think. Or yeah, she been in the, not the drug take, but she got arrested, and this is where she came immediately after. So poor Alexis. She got her 1 day token. I don't know if the day's over yet, and if she's gonna finish it without drinking. We're gonna see. Um, I have very little hope for her keeping her sobriety, because she tends to relapse. You guys, oh my god, if you have stuck with me this long, thanks for sticking. Um, I've talked a lot and a lot and a lot. So maybe we'll do this again soon. Not sure. But until then, peace to the planet. Tip your waitresses. Y'all be safe out there. And as Lulu used to say to Maxie, bye.